Good morning, Mabalacat, young single adults. Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me again. Um, nakakapanghinayang na hindi ko ito magagawa ng live, pero I'm still happy to be invited and of course to share with you some of my thoughts. Ang topic na binigay sa akin goal setting. The importance of goals. And I love to talk about this one kasi isa ito sa napaka-importanting topics, lalo na sa mga young single adults. Ako naniniwala ako na this is one of those important topics that young single adults should really be paying attention to. Now, let me just quickly share with you, to start my presentation, one of the questions that I'm often asked is, James, how do you keep yourself motivated? Alam mo, isa sa tanong yan no? Na madalas ko natatanggap. How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you maintain motivation in your life? So I think all of us are interested on how this motivation works. It's so inspiring to see people who are motivated. And I think that's the reason why many of us are interested to find out, how does a person maintain that level of high motivation in his life? And so again, one of the questions that I'm often asked is, James, how do you keep yourself motivated? How do you stay motivated? Now, before I can give you my answer to that very important question, let's first talk about the word motivation. I think you will understand and appreciate my answer even more if you and I have a really good understanding of the word motivation. You see, the word motivation comes from the Latin word motive. So it has a Latin root word, motive. And M-O-T, from the word motive, actually means to move. The word M-O-T in Latin means to move, kumilos, gumalaw, umaksyon. And that's the reason why we find words like motor, may M-O-T yun. Motion, may M-O-T ulit. Automotive, demotion, promotion, demotion. All of these words, mapapansin mo, with the presence of M-O-T, because most of our words also come with its Latin root word, actually connotes movement. And so, my friends, to be motivated means to move. A person who is motivated is a person who is moving, acting, doing something. So keep that in mind. So when you say that a person is motivated, that means the person is not just inspired. To be inspired is one thing, but to be motivated is another thing. To be motivated means to do something, to move, to take action. Okay? So, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, I feel so motivated today. Ano gagawin mo ngayon? Magne-Netflix lang ako buong araw. Pag ni-Netflix ka buong araw, tapos motivated ka. I feel so motivated today. Ano gagawin mo ngayon? Hindi ko alam. You see, a person who is motivated is a person who is not just inspired. Diba? Hindi lang siya rarara, hindi lang siya excited. A person who is motivated is a person who is ready to move, ready to take action, ready to wake up early in the morning and do something with his day. Diba? That is a person that's truly motivated. Now, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So now let's go back to the question. So James, how do you keep yourself motivated? How does a person maintains that level of motivation? So ibig pala sabihin nun, how do you keep yourself moving? How do you keep yourself acting, doing things? Okay? So with that in mind, let me now give you my answer. How do I keep myself motivated? How do I keep myself moving, doing things? And one of my favorite answers, and there could be more, there could be many great answers to that question. But personally, and from my observation with so many wonderful and great achievers that I observe, is that a person who has goals are motivated. People who has clear idea of what they want in life take action. And so how do I keep my motivation? I constantly set goals. I constantly review my goals. Do I change my goals? Yeah, every now and then. But I hope you're beginning to see and appreciate that there is a very important and critical connection between motivation and goal setting. When one has a clear vision of what he wants in life, when one has a clear idea of what he wants to accomplish, aka goals, then that person will not have a hard time to wake up early in the morning, to do something with his life, to take action. So that's how I want to begin our little conversation and my little sharing with you this morning. The power of goals. So to me, the power of goal setting is the power to move a person. The power of goal setting is the power to inspire someone to do something with their lives. Kaya minsan nagtataka ka, may mga tao parang buhay pa lang parang wala ng buhay. There seemed to be an absence of life in their life. Parang walang aksyon, walang patutunguhan. And of course we feel sorry for this kind of people. And I think one of the reasons why is the absence of goals in their lives. Now, I'm not saying that if you have goals, you'll simply be, it's like a magic pill and you will simply be successful in life. Of course, there's so many things that we need to do. But I think that's a very important starting point. Well, let me now go to the second thing I would like to share with you this morning about goals. If you would look at the definition of goals, if you would look at the Webster Dictionary and try to check the definition of goals, you will find these words. Goals are finish lines. Goals are end results. Goals are targets. Okay? So, ito yung katapusan. Diba? Ito yung gusto mo ma-achieve. So again, if you would check modern Webster dictionaries, you will find this definition. Goals are finish lines. They are the end results. And appropriately so, di ba? Tama naman yun di ba? Kaya yun ang iyong parang gustong marating, di ba? At least at certain points of your life. But let me share with you something very interesting that I discovered from my readings. I discovered that in the late 16th century, okay, the late 16th century, this 16th century, these were the days of the great Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and others. So these are some of the great men who lived during the 16th century. And during their time, the word goal, spelled G-O-A-L-E, may I pa sa dulo, no? The original spelling of the word goal. The word goal has a very interesting definition. And during their time, late 16th century, the word goal was originally defined as the starting point of a race. Think about that. The starting point of a race. Kanina sabi natin, modern definition, goals are end results, finish line. The original definition, goals are starting point. Starting points. The starting point of a race. Now, I think there's wisdom when we combine both the modern day definition and the original definition of the word goal. And so if we combine them, young single adults, we learn something really important. Goals are not just finish lines. They're starting points as well. Did you get that? I want you to write that down, okay? Write this down on your notes. Goals are not just finish lines. They're actually starting points as well. You see, we have a member of the church who passed away a few years ago, who became really popular all over the world. Firstly, because he wrote a book that became a smashing bestseller. And the title of his book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And many of you already are familiar with the person I'm referring to. His name is Stephen R. Covey. And in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, habit number 2, he was able to word eloquently these 2 definitions that I just mentioned to you. Listen carefully to habit number 2. According to Stephen R. Covey, habit number 2 of effective people is begin with the end in mind. Listen carefully. Begin, starting point, with the end, finish line, in mind. Begin with the end in mind. What a great concept. And I cannot find another phrase so eloquently putting together both definitions of what goal is. So once again, my friends, goals are not just finish lines. They're starting points as well. So for me, the message and the lesson is clear. Here's the important lesson that I want you to understand with these 2 definitions combined. We do not achieve something and then write it down as a goal. No. Wrong sequence. Sabi nga ng isang general authority na nagsalita recently. So let me repeat. We do not achieve something and then after achieving it, then we write it down as a goal. No. The proper sequence is we first write it down as a goal and then we achieve it. Starting point, write down the goal. Finish line, achieve that goal. So once again, my friends, the lesson is clear. We do not achieve something great and then we write it down as a goal. No. We first write it down as a goal. That's the first. And then we pursue and achieve that goal. Begin with the end in mind. So goals are not just finish lines. They're actually starting points as well. So here are good questions for you to think about, my young single adult friends. So having said all this, when is the best time to write a goal? When is the best time to set a goal? Before the year begins or in the middle of the year? Diba? Of course, the best time to write the goal is in the beginning. Before you even start the year, you write your goal. Not in the middle. That's not the best time to write the goal. So when is the best time to write and set goals? Before you go on a mission or in the middle of the mission? Wag. Dapat bago ka pala mag-mission, may goals ka na. These are the things I would like to achieve as a missionary. Diba? I will follow all the rules with exactness. I will love my companion. I will not waste my time. I will master the language of whatever place I will be assigned in. So all of these are your goals, and it's best to write them and set them before you go on a mission. Para bago ka palang mission, klaro-klaro na sa'yo. Right? So when is the best time to set a goal? Before marriage or in the middle of marriage? Of course, you always write goals, pero the best time to write your goals and set your goals is now. Young single nga, before you enter marriage. Di ba? So, yung mga brethren natin, nakaset na. Ngayon pa lang, meron na silang sineset. Ano yun? I will be a righteous priesthood holder. Pag kinasal ako, pag naging married brother na ako, I will maintain my priesthood covenants. I will be a loving husband. I will be an ambitious husband. Di ba? Hindi yung okay na kami kumain ng 2 meals sa isang araw. No. Ang goal ko is to provide my family, my wife, with a comfortable life, a good life. I will send my kids to the best schools. Diba? Bago ka palang ikasal, meron ka ng goals. Again, begin with the end in mind. Goals are not just finish lines. They are starting points. So if we combine them together, we maximize the power of goals. Bago ka palang tumakbo ng karera, goal. Goals are already part of your life. So habang tumatakbo ka, meron kang pinatutunguan. Alin? Yung achievement naman of your goals. So when is the best time to set a goal? Before you start a career, or before you start a career, or in the middle of your career? Again, the wisdom of what we're talking about. Bago ka pa lang sumabak sa karera na gusto mo, may goals ka na. Diba? Ano-ano yun? Sample, I will be the best janitor. Siyempre, baka doon ka lang magsimula. Kahit na sabi mo, janitor ako, I will be the best. Diba? I will be honest. I will not stop, diba, to learn and to grow. And I will achieve better. So all of these things are already being set even before you set out on whatever it is you want to set out. Well, let me give you a little activity. Okay? So keep in mind, ulitin ko lang goals are not just finish lines, but starting points as well. Keep that in mind. Not just finish lines, but starting points. What did Stephen R. Covey said? Begin with the end in mind. Okay? Let me give you a little activity. Maganda to pagka magkakasama tayo, pero I hope that this will work. Well, I'm gonna ask you to read something. Silently, silently in your mind. Okay, in your mind, just read this silently. I'm just gonna give you a few seconds to read this. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay. Okay. Isn't that interesting? You were able to perfectly read this paragraph. Kahit na jumble-jumble yung gitna. Because according to experts, if the first and the last letters are in place, kahit na i-jumble mo yung gitna, you'll still survive. You'll still be able to read it. You know what? I think that is a perfect illustration of what we're talking about. Goals are not just finish lines, last letter of the word, but also the starting points, the first letter of the word. Now, if we have our goal set in place in the beginning, and so we have a clear idea of what we want as the end result. Now, in the middle, kahit na magkaroon tayo ng mga peaks and valleys, right? Because we will definitely have challenges in life, but we will be able to see it through. Wow. Well, I hope that will be something for you to think about. Well, here's the third part of my sharing with you. I only have a few more minutes. I was given 20 to 30 minutes. Probably I will not be able to get the full 30 minutes, but I've already been speaking to you for about 20 minutes already. But here's my final lesson to you about goal setting. Well, actually, there are so many frameworks out there if you really want to set proper goals. Let me just give you two. One framework that you can follow is what they call the be, do, have. Be, B-E, do, D-O, have. Be, do, have. So set goals. What do I want to be? And then what do I want to do? And then what do I want to have? Diba? So be, do, have. Being, what kind of a person do you want to be? So set a goal there. What do you want to do? Diba? Career, activities, diba? And what do you want to have? Diba? Dito siguro pumapasok yung, some of the material blessings that you and I want to have. And that's perfectly fine. But there are also other things that we want to have. Diba? We want to have peace. We want to have health. Diba? And so that's one framework for setting goals. A balance of all three. What be, do, have. Another framework that is quite popular for those who love to talk about goal setting is the SMART goals. SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T, diba? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and then time-bound. So all of these are excellent. I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm not going to expound on that anymore. I think many of you have read about that before. Many of you have actually done it before. What I would like to end with as my message to you in this very important session that we're having right now on goal setting is more of how do you achieve. So okay lang sa inyo, yun ang gusto kong expound as my last part. So how do you now? So I have a goal, James. Okay, now I started my year. Diba? Bago pa lang matapos yung 2021. Okay, I can now see 2022. Perfect. Diba? Ang galing. Malapit na ako yung kasal. So thank you. I will now start coming up with specific goals. Okay, so now I'm beginning with the end in mind. So I would like now to venture 3 ideas, all beginning with the letter S. Okay, all beginning with the letter S, on how you can achieve naman your goals. All right? So here's the first S on how you can achieve your set goals. The first S is stop. S-T-O-P. Stop. So in here, you need to ask yourself a very important question. What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to stop thinking so that I can really achieve my goals? You see, if you really face the truth, my young single adult friends, there are so many things that we're actually doing today that is slowing us down. There are certain things we're doing today that are actually not just slowing down, but probably even deterring us, diba? Holding us back in order to achieve our worthwhile goals. So I want you to think about that. So meron na kayong goals, di ba? Magsiset ka ng goals ngayon, di ba? Boom, 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 boom. Now ask yourself, what are things that I need to stop doing? What are things that I need to stop believing that are actually slowing me down? And if I don't stop these things, I will never reach my goals, or it will slow me down, or it would hinder me from achieving my goals. So this is really a very important question that I want you to ask yourself. Okay, once and for all, young single adult friends, let's face the music. Let's face the truth. Diba? Hindi pa tayo perfecto eh. And therefore, there are things that we need to stop. Because if we continue to do these things, we will never achieve our great goals. We will never achieve our potentials. Let me share with you some specific things, okay? And I want you to come up with your own pondering and thinking about this and make a list. And I think I mentioned this to you in my earlier young single adult, whatever, sharing with you. But I'm serious about this. I'm really serious about this. And if I get the chance, I really talk about this. You want to achieve your goals? Stop screen addiction. Stop gadget addiction. Stop cell phone addiction. Stop social media browsing that spends minutes and minutes and hours of your day, to the point that many of us, many of you, are already deprived of your creativity and your genius and your greatness. We have a problem today, a very serious problem with gadget and screen addiction. So please think about that. Some people don't want to face that because they feel that they will not be happy anymore when they don't look at Facebook. I'm not anti-Facebook, by the way, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-Facebook. I am anti-self-sabotage. I'm anti-stupid. I mean, you know what? It's just a stupid thing to do, just wasting our time. And instead of reading a great book, instead of learning new skills, we are too much into this zombie nation. Tawag nga nila, di ba? Screen zombie nation na nga daw ang tawag sa atin. So that's the first S. Stop. What are some things that I need to stop doing in order for me to achieve my goal? Number 2S. Start. S-T-A-R-T. So dito naman baliktad. Kung kanina, meron kang dapat itigil. Dito naman baliktad. What are some of the things that you need to start doing in order for you to achieve your goals? And again, let's face it. If you and I would really want to achieve our potentials, if you and I would really want to achieve our grand goals, we have to start doing something. We have to start doing things we have never done before. Right? Ano sabi nila? What is the definition of insanity? Doing things over and over and over again, yet expecting different results. So, kung wala kang babaguhin, then don't expect pagbabago. Tulad na sinabi ko sa inyo before, di ba? Don't wait for the economy to get better. You get better. You start doing things you have never done before in order for you to achieve your goals. So you have to look at your goals, di ba? Stare at your goals, and now it's time to face the music. There are things I need to stop if I'm to truly achieve them. There are things that I need to start doing that I haven't done before if I'm to achieve them. For example, if you haven't started yet, start reading good books. Read great books. If you haven't started yet, start signing up for classes, short courses, or probably if you haven't finished your education, restart. Diba? Enroll. Start an apprenticeship program. Diba? Be an apprentice to someone who is really, really good. If you want to be a great architect, if you want to be a great mechanic, then be an apprentice of a great mechanic. Start a mentoring program. Start reading books about those things. Okay? And lastly, letter S, the third S, is sustain. S-U-S-T-A-I-N. Sustain. S-U-S-T-A-I-N. So kanina, stop. Yung pangalawa, start. Yung pangatlo, sustain. Dito naman sa sustain, what do I need to continue? Ito naman yung mga magagandang ginagawa mo na. Diba? So hindi naman pwedeng wala kang ginagawang maganda. Diba? Marami naman. So if I am to achieve my goals, what are the good things I've already started? Diba? For example, diba? Tayong mga returned missionaries. We have been taught to plan our day. O, kung nagpaplano ka ng araw mo, sustain that. Continue that. If you're reading the scriptures, nako, makakatulong yun. Dapat di mo tinatanggal yun. Sustain that. If you're going to church, sustain that. Di ba? If you are doing Come Follow Me, sustain mo yun. So these are the things that you need to keep doing. So once again, 3S in order for you to achieve your set goals. And this is a very important conversation you need to have with yourself. Okay? If you need to lock yourself in a room, all alone, have a piece of paper, begin it with a prayer, kneel down, and then start asking these serious questions. What are the things I need to stop? These things are slowing me down. These things are destroying me. And if I am to achieve my goals, I need to stop them. Right? Stop belittling yourself. Stop looking down on yourself. Stop saying to yourself, wala akong patutunguhan. Stop that. It's not healthy. Diba? You're trying to believe a lie. And you're trying to convince yourself of this lie. Well, the truth is, many people are doing that simply because, it's just justification for probably laziness. So stop that. Stop gadget addiction. Number 2, start. What do I need to start doing that I have never done before? Things that are hard but I need to do. Diba? And number 3, what do I need to sustain? Dapat di mawala sa akin to. Dapat di mawala yung prayer. Dapat di mawala yung scripture reading. Diba? Because these are the basic things, the fundamental things. Actually, doon sa number 3, sa tingin ko, dyan tayo magaling. Mga LDS, magaling tayo dyan. Latter-day Saints, mga members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, magaling tayo dyan. Ang nakikita ko yung 2 S na simula. Ang kailangan natin tutukan. Well, anyways, young single adults of Mabalacat, I have already taken up 30 minutes. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to share with you my thoughts about goals and goal setting and goal achieving. Let me just quickly share with you my testimony. I know God lives. I know that Heavenly Father did not put us here on earth to accomplish nothing. In fact, it's the opposite. The Lord placed us here on earth so that we can do great things. Great things. And so let's keep that goal in sight, in mind. And I know that everything will work out for the best. I share this message with you, and congratulations in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.